and welcome back to Nickerson Hall, where the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds are leading going into the half, 31-27. Emma Benoit and Laura Thomas have just been unstoppable going into the second half, and they've only limited Bailey Rezovic to 11 points. Now, going into the second half, both teams need to make sure that they don't foul as much, because that is what's limiting them tonight. Back up to you guys. Joining me right now is assistant head coach Evan Dodd, and going into this game, you knew Bailey Rezovic was going to be a bit of a matchup. What was your plan today to stop her?
Just do our best on her. She shoots it from deep, and we just try to close out on her and be able to slide her feet. It's 5 people guarding the basketball.
And then Emma Benoit was on full minutes today. How important is she in today's game?
She's extremely important. She's one of our top rebounders. She's a rim protector for us, and she did a good job grabbing 10 rebounds for us today.
And going into next week, you are going to Lewis. What is your game plan going forward?
Really shut down their post play. They have a great post player and hinders themselves, so we're going to do some things to mix it up to make it complicated for her to get touches.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
On with head coach Stan Gerard. I know you guys are excited. Liv, take it away.
Yes, I am very excited. We have head coach Stan Gerard. And Stan, what is going through your head right now?
A ton of emotions right now. Senior night. Jimmy King hits the game winner on senior night. What more can I say? Unbelievable effort, unbelievable play for Jimmy down the stretch. Our guys were awesome tonight.
And you had a timeout with 5.3 seconds left in the game. What did you tell your team?
We wanted to get the ball in Jimmy's hands, get downhill. We put a shooter in the corner, and it was on Jimmy to make a great decision. He got to the basket, made a great decision, and the rest is history.
And tonight is senior night, and what has the senior class meant to you, not only to you, but to the program?
Just they leaving some remarkable footprints in this program. These guys have been awesome, and I'm just looking forward to finishing out the season on a high note.
Thank you so much, Coach. We'll celebrate. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Liv. An emotional coach, Stan Gerard.
Hello and welcome to Nickerson Hall. I'm Olivia Christ, joining you this evening where the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds will go up against the University of Illinois Springfield Prairie Stars. With me is Vince Morales and Brody Butcher. And Vince, we'll start with you. Jimmy King and Trevor Lakes both have a little bit of injury. Stan Gerard said that he wasn't going to play them that much on Thursday night, yet they still played 30 minutes. Do you think we'll see them tonight?
It's going to be a little bit of hit or miss. We'll see how they start the game off, but with that shoulder injury due to King, you want to limit his minutes, especially going into a game like USI later next week. So expect to see him a little bit, but he's a big key to this offense, so they'll need him to get going early.
And if Stan Gerard decides to limit King and Lakes, how do you think the Greyhounds will adjust to that? Because, again, they're leaders on this team.
Well, they both have upperclassmen. They got Corey Miller Jr. and Marcus Latham off the bench. Marcus Latham is a leading scorer, and they're a huge bench depth. They also have 2 new players, and I'm excited to see to watch.
All right, don't go anywhere. Tip-off is next. You're watching Greyhound Basketball on the GLVC Sports Network. Hello and welcome to Nickerson Hall, where the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds are facing the University of Illinois Springfield Prairie Stars. I'm Olivia Christ, your sideline host for the evening matchup, and with me is Isaiah Jackson and Carlos Larkin. And Isaiah, we'll start with you. The Greyhounds are coming off of a 73-70 loss against Lewis on Thursday night, where there was arguably a very bad foul call that gave Lewis the advantage. What do the Greyhounds need to do to ensure that they come away with a win?
Well, the Greyhounds had an electric 50% shooting in the first 3 quarters of that game. They need to push that going into this game. And not only that, Emma Benoit's on limited time. They need to focus on rebounding. That should be the key focus in this game today.
And as you said, Emma Benoit is out on limited time dealing with a foot injury, and Daisha Evans, is out for the rest of the season. How does that affect the dynamic of tonight's game?
It's going to affect the dynamic of the team tremendously. Emma Benoit and Daisha Evans are 2 huge parts of the offense and defense, so it's going to be crucial for Paige Barrett and Mackenzie Telfer to step up in their absence, as well as Laura Thomas to provide her leadership, not only tonight, but for the rest of the season.
Thank you guys so much for your insight. Don't go anywhere, because next is Tip-Off. You're watching Greyhound Basketball on the GLVC Sports Network. Hello and welcome back to Nickerson Hall, where the UIndy Greyhounds are leading at 27-24 against the Prairie Stars. And it's been anything but a Cinderella story for the Greyhounds. They were down 9-0, caused Christian Woodrich to call a timeout to see what her Greyhounds were doing and why they hadn't scored. And after that, Taylor Dillard and Paige Barnett came into the game, and it seemed the dynamic had changed right after that, adding a little bit of tempo to it. And since then, it's been Greyhound basketball controlling the ball. And as Isaiah Jackson said at the beginning of the broadcast, they needed to control the rebounds and the turnovers, and that's exactly what they did. They're sitting at 19 rebounds and 11 turnovers with a 67.9% at the free throw shot. Up next is the second half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Greyhound basketball on the GLVC Sports Network. Hello and welcome back to Nickerson Hall, where the 16th ranked Indianapolis Greyhounds will be taking on the University of Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles, who are ranked 20th right now. I'm Olivia Chris, your sideline reporter, and joining me is Vincent Morales. And Vince, both teams are coming off losses, so how much will this fuel them going into the game tonight?
You know, losses are really bad, and the home loss against the conference team makes it that much worse. And that's what happened both teams on Saturday. USI a 2-point loss against Southwest Baptist, and then the Greyhounds getting absolutely blown out against Illinois Springfield. So 1-2 in conference play for both teams. I think that's just enough motivation coming into today.
You talk about Saturday, and one thing that UND struggled with is their three-pointer shots, and Trevor Lakes was 1 for 10 on Saturday. So what changes will they need to make in order to come away with the win?
If you're the Greyhounds, I expect to try to get Trevor Lakes going a little bit earlier than normal. He forced a lot of his shots, but he's one of the best three-point shooters in Greyhound history. So if you're Coach Gerard and the Greyhound fan, you really don't have to worry about it too much, and you just hope it's one of those shooting slumps that a lot of players go through.
Thank you so much, Vince, for your analysis. Don't go anywhere. Tip-off is next. You're watching Greyhound basketball on the GLVC Sports Network. Congratulations on the big win. I know how much this meant for everybody. USI was dominant behind the arc. What did you tell your team in order to slow them down? Because it was a pretty big lead.
Well, we mixed our defenses up. They're a really good basketball team, especially in terms of offensive rebounding. 3 threes we wanted to key on tonight was not giving these guys second chance opportunities, doubling the post, and being poised on offense.
And what did you tell your team during the half to get them started in the second?
Well, we made a great run because the USI got off to a great start to start the basketball game. We wanted to make sure we maintain our confidence, our physicality. And I thought second half we kind of slacked off a little bit, but we picked it back up. We went with Damari Sims a lot tonight. He didn't play a lot, but he got us some great energy tonight.
And Jimmy King did hit the 1,000 points during his career here. How much does that mean to him, and how much does it mean to the team?
I'm sure that's been on his mind the past couple games, so it's really a special moment for he and his family. Becoming the 42nd player in history to score 1,000 points. He's in the record books with a lot of great players, and we're really proud of him tonight.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys. The Indianapolis Greyhounds will be facing the University of Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles. I'm Olivia Chris, your sideline reporter for tonight, and joining me is Isaiah Jackson and Carlos Alarkin. And Isaiah, we'll start with you. Both teams are coming off of wins, which is always great, but UND is without Emma Benoit. So how do they use that momentum to win this game?
Well, last game it was a struggle for them in the first half, but one thing that came in clutch for them was free throws. They shot 35 free throws in that game, so they're looking to get into that going into this game today.
And Carlos, USI has had some struggles this year, but mostly in the third quarter. So how does UND capitalize on that so, again, they come with the win?
Well, it's going to be really important for the Greyhounds to pay close attention to what the Screaming Eagles throw at them in the first half because, like you said, the Screaming Eagles have been most vulnerable in the third quarter, so the Greyhounds are going to have to come out in the third quarter ready to attack.
Thank you guys so much for your analysis. Don't go anywhere because next is tip-off. You're watching Greyhound basketball on the GLVC Sports Network. Hello and welcome our assistant head coach, Evan Dudd. And obviously not the turnout that you wanted. It was a rival game. You are without your best player. How much did this game mean to you guys?
It means a lot. I mean, they came in on this home court and beat us, I think, 3 years in a row now. And we didn't play very poised or disciplined down the stretch.
What did they do differently that you guys just weren't expecting?
Nothing. They did exactly what they did. They offensive rebound really well. We got 17 offensive rebounds, a lot down the stretch, and they converted on them. We didn't.
And so you have McKendree up next. How are you guys going to prepare for that game?
Very similar to USI. They're a team that plays extremely hard. They like to throw it inside. They're a great offensive rebounding team, so it's going to be about the same preparation for USI.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys.